So my camera decided not to record video for some reason, so I have to do a voiceover here. So let's get to it. So you see me being a derp and holding my wrench. That's a 10mm socket. Now to access to the headlights, there's that black container, that black housing that you'll find underneath the dashboard. And here I am unbolting the bolts. There's two bolts, and they don't take much to get off. 10mm. Trying to make sure that the light isn't glaring the camera. I'm wearing gloves just because when I go to handle the light bulb, I don't want the oil on my fingers to cause it to blow. Not that I think LED light bulbs have an issue. So here I'm pulling it, and there's this little lip underneath on the top that you just got to kind of you pry from the bottom and you pull down. And there's the light bulb socket itself. There's the connection, and that connection just pulls right out. You don't have to squeeze any tabs or anything. Nice and easy. And that rubber boot, there's a little tab on top that you can access. See, I'm trying to squeeze. It's kind of tough. I mean, grabbing it with some needle nose pliers will probably be better, but it's fairly easy to grab, and you just pull that boot off. Come on, Dean. And I'm jumping the gun here, putting the cart before the horse, talking about the clip. There's a small clip. It's about the diameter of a paperclip wire that retains the bulb, and you just gotta kind of slide it up. There we go, Dean. Get that boot off. Okay, so it's this clip you just got to slide off. This is the first time I've changed these light bulbs, so as with anything, the first time you got kind of to experiment and just kind of explore new frontiers. So this is me always resulting in or referring to mechanical means, because now I'm looking, if you can see, up right above my arm, there is where a speaker would go. See that grill there right beside my hand? There's no speaker there, but you can peek through there and see where the headlight, where you're working. So it's kind of handy if you don't have the speaker there. I'm just trying to be careful. I don't want to be screwing this up. I'm just verifying that, yep, it's a clip. You know, it's a push up. It's not a pull to the side and it pops out. You gotta push up on it. That's it. That's once you pop that up, the bulb comes right out. And I'm off to get the other headlight bulb because, of course, I didn't have it right there handy. So that's the new one. That's the LED. There's a fan at the end to keep it cool. Pretty neat little device. And we're just going to pop it back in and reverse the process. Yeah, there's a couple little tabs. You can see that tab on the light bulb. There's a fat tab, and that goes to the top. And then you pull that clip back over. Just trying to make sure it's seated. There we go. Clip goes on, pretty easy. And that's that. And that's how easy it is to change. Get the boot back on. And I put the boot on the first time. I didn't make sure it was fully seated. I had to go back just to double check. It's not like it's difficult. It was just something I overlooked. And then when I went to put the cover back on, it didn't sit right, and that's kind of how I knew that the boot wasn't seated. So here I am naively putting the cover back on. There's a little notch on top that the headlight wire slips through. And then it just lines back up with the bolt holes on the bottom. And they weren't lining up great. And I wasn't sure why. And then I realized two mistakes I made. A, the boot, and B, I had just laid the cover, the housing on top. I hadn't laid it in and slid it up so that the channel that it has encapsulates the framing of the headlight. But I kept checking. I'm like, it just doesn't feel right. You see it flopping around? It shouldn't flop around like that. So, there we go. Now we got it, team. Now we got it figured out. So even then, it's like it's not sitting right because that boot wasn't sitting right. But all in all, it's a very simple job. And the LED headlights should really take a strain off of the alternator and battery. I plan on changing or upgrading the alternator to a higher amperage because I plan on adding. Yeah, here I am backing it off like an idiot. Well, I plan on upgrading the alternator eventually because I want to add more bells and whistles to this thing. And I tighten it back up, and there we go. Pretty easy. Just make sure that boot's back on. So here we are. Here's the lights. I'm not sure how well they show up. The one on the left on the driver's side is the old one, and the one on the right is the new one, the LED. And if you listen real close, you can hear the fan buzzing in there. But this will definitely take a strain off the alternator using LEDs versus incandescents. And easy fix. Tomorrow I'll do the other one.